Hello, my name's Dan L. I'm one of the migration engineers at Zumasys, and I've been asked to put together a little video on our migration station. You'll find this stuff under our knowledge base, and it will kind of explain the first steps of a migration.
And today we're going to go over migrating to jBASE from your UV system. UV is a universe, and it is a database that's one of the multi-value platforms. And unlike many of the multi-value platforms, Universe works with Linux-based files. So a lot of the things that we can't do with other databases, we can do with Universe, and one of those is a snapshot. And the reason we like to do that, if you see our knowledge base, you'll see that ideally for a Universe conversion, you're going to want to do a snapshot of your database. And what that entails is a simple Linux or Unix-based program called rsync. And it allows for snapshotting of the database, which means that you can do a complete backup of the database with the rsync, and then refreshes of that backup will only have to update those files that have changed since the last snapshot. What that can do for you is if you want to do a month end and do a capture and possibly be able to compare your month end on your Universe system to the month end on your newly converted jBASE system, you can do a snapshot of the system, allow your live system to go ahead and do their month end, and then at some point take that snapshot and convert it over to jBASE and then be able to compare that later. So the rsync command is what's used for that, and it allows us to make that snapshot. It also allows for the quick refresh of that snapshot, and it's a simple one-line command, and it's in your knowledge base. And the simple command is listed as rsync -avz, which means it's just doing all of your files. And then we're going to exclude the index files and make a copy of them from one directory to the other. I'm going to type that command in, though I've already done it on this machine, but I'm going to do an rsync -avz. Those are the options. We're going to exclude the index files because they do not convert over to jBASE indexes. You're going to have to rebuild those anyway. You would even if you brought them back on a Universe system. 0, question mark. So that says exclude anything that starts or that ends with index, the number 0, and 2 other characters, because they'll have index 001, 002, 003 through 099 if it was that huge of an index. So we're just going to exclude those in this rsync, and then where we're coming from. So it may be /data on your system, and we're going to go to /snapshot. So when I hit enter there, that will just take everything that's in the /data directory on this machine and put it into the /snapshot. Now, what is /snapshot? That should be a file system with sufficient disk to be able to hold your entire Universe database, because that is going to be a snapshot. That's going to be a picture of what this database looks like at this time. Now, this should be done when the system is quiescent, so it should probably be, after hours when everybody's gone for the night. This will make that snapshot of the system and make an exact pristine copy of it under /snapshot. Now, once this has been run, you can actually run it again directly the next line. Just after you run it one more time. The second time, it should come back and say nothing has been changed since the last time. Then you have a pristine snapshot. So that snapshot now is what we're going to use for our jBASE conversion. So that is an exact copy of your Universe system. So I've done that, and I did that snapshot here. then I can CD to that snapshot directory. And when I do an ls -l, it's just going to show me all of my universe accounts. In this case, there's an Accuterm account, there's a Desktop account, there's a Me account, and there's a UDS account. So these accounts are now an exact duplicate of your live system, but they are not your live system. So, if something was to happen, or if you needed to run, and we will talk about this, sometimes you'll need to run a utility called Finuxy, which will actually convert your data from an AIX type of 64-bit machine to a Linux machine. This stuff can be altered and not be messing with your live system. So we're going to go ahead and do a universe backup of this information. So on your Linux machine, you will have universe running out here. I'm going to find dot, which means find everything that's here, these 4 directories and all subdirectories below them. And then I'm going to run the universe backup. So on my system, universe is located under user, UV, bin, and then UV backup is the name of the universe backup command. For us to be able to restore that onto universe, we will need a -F option, a -V so that we can see what it's doing for verbose, and then a -rev7 because that tells us that to make it rev7 compatible. And then we're going to send that backup to standard out with a dash, and then redirect it to whatever we want to put, wherever we want to put it. In this case, we're going to put it in /u uvbackup.vtf. And I just called it uvbackup.vtf. If you're wondering what VTF stands for, it's virtual tape file. A lot of systems will use that as their suffix. And when we hit enter, you'll see that it just backs up the different accounts. So this will back up all of those universe accounts as you saw, Accuterm and Desktop and et cetera. Rather than waiting for it, I'm going to terminate out of it, but it gives you, you get the idea. And now when we go to /u, /u and ls -l or uvbackup.vtf, we're going to see we have a universe backup tape. And so that's a tape that we will now use to restore to our jBASE system. So I happen to have universe and jBASE on the same box here. So I'm going to CD over to my jBASE system, CD to DBMS. I need to set up jBASE so that I can run jBASE commands. And that's always opt jBASE current version jBASE _env.sh, the jBASE environment shell. So that's going to set up jBASE for us so we can run different jBASE commands. And because this is a backup tape and we need to use tape devices, we're going to be running inside the J shell. So we'll do a JSH, which runs our J shell. I happen to be logged in as root, so it's saying I'm root user. P attach file 0, and then that device that we backed it up to, which was /u/uvbackup.vtf. So we are attaching that file that UV backup created as if it's a tape drive for jBASE. So that will attach it, and it creates a little temporary file to hold the tape as it gets transferred over. And then from that, we would just simply resub, which is restore universe. And then the options are -C, -E, -P, -S, and then the -V is for verbose. And then the dot means we want to restore it to where we are at currently, which is our /DBMS, which is the base of our jBASE machine, our new jBASE machine. We've just installed jBASE, and we've got this directory. So that's why we had to do the jBASE _env.sh so that we will run jBASE, but we haven't really set it up or anything at this point, because we want to get the data down first, and then the next thing will be setting up your jBASE machine, and we're going to go over that in another video, and that will explain how to set up your accounts and your users and all that type of thing. But that will be more generic in that your data could have come from a universe machine, it could have come from a GA, it could have come from a D3, any multi-value platform, and that will be the same. So at this point, we're talking about restoring the universe data. Once it's restored, it's jBASE. Once it's jBASE, we do the same regardless of where that data came from. So that's why those will be separated into other videos. So in this point, I'm going to hit return, and you'll just see that it starts refreshing the accounts into this DBMS directory. And so there they are. They're coming down their AccuTerm, their DesQTop, and et cetera. And when it's all done, we'll have all those files under this DBMS directory, and they will be jBASE type of files that were restored from the universe backup. Okay, now the data's been restored, so let's go ahead and CD to AccuTerm, which was one of the accounts that got restored. And if we do an LS, we'll see there's our AccuTerm files as they are or were on the universe system. So if we wanted to, we could say list AccuTerm, oops, I'm sorry, we're doing an uppercase, list AccuTerm CTRL, and there's a now jBASE file, which used to be a universe file.
And if you have any questions on this, the migration checklist that we're going over, or any of the other things with jBASE, check out docs.jbase.com, and it will give you the information you need. I appreciate the time, and good luck on your migration.